So the three ingredients are gonna be chicken breast, white potato, and tender stem broccoli. So we're gonna make 3 meals with those 3 ingredients, but none of them are gonna look or taste alike. And if you're new here, I'm Blair. I'm an online coach that specializes in helping people build lean, athletic bodies so that they can do the stuff they want to do without second guessing themselves. So the first meal we're gonna make today is we're gonna go for some potato wedges that we're gonna blast in the air fryer. And we're just gonna do that alongside a seasoned chicken breast and boiled broccoli. So we're keeping it super, super simple. But simple does not have to mean that it's not tasty, which you will see in a second. So for now, I'm literally just gonna chop this potato up into sort of wedge-like shapes. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're increasing the surface area for the spices to catch on to the chips. All right, so obviously it's a fitness channel, so of course we're weighing our food. So I will just weigh out all the potato I've just chopped so I know how much I'm eating, and then I can take away or add more if I need to, but just going for 400 and 410, I will take that one as a win. So next up, what I like to do is whilst they're in the pot like this, I'll add in a little bit of oil. And I know this is an extra ingredient, but you can add whatever you want. You can get this chip seasoning in most places, I think. So I'll add this in and literally just spank it. Cover your chips and then literally shake. And that is you. From there, we are gonna stick them in the air fryer. I like to line my air fryer. I like to line the air fryer with tin foil just because then I feel like I don't have to fully clean it as often. A little bit of spray of oil in there, and then in they go. Give them a shake, and this is gonna go in the air fryer for 20 minutes to start off with. 220 minutes. Oh, wrong one. Air fry 220 minutes. Just let that count down. Maybe take it out every now and again, give it a little shake, but generally that's all we're trying to do. Next up, we will sort out the chicken. So we're just gonna keep it super simple for this one. Literally, we're just gonna season it a little bit and then stick that in the other air fryer tray to fry as well. All right, so if you wanted to, you could, and I do like to do this, just score the chicken breast slightly. Again, just to increase the surface area a little bit, get the spices involved, but just very, very slightly. I'll weigh this, 230, not bad at all. Get the chicken juice off my hands. 2, 3, 4. And then I am gonna use, again, you can use whatever spice you want. We just got this Nando's one that we've been using recently. I'll just chuck a bit of that in there. Roughly 7 or so grams. And again, just give it a little bit of a mix. I like doing it in the bowl because the bowl's already dirty from the potatoes anyway. So I may as well use it again, and I feel like you just get a more even coat on the chicken. So literally it'll look something like that, and I will just literally place it in the air frying dish. This one will be a similar sort of time. The chicken breast obviously will depend on how big your breasts are as to how much you want to cook them. But I'm gonna go with, I like to do about 15-ish minutes, and then I'll usually flip it over and see how it is, and then I'll try and time it with the potato wedges, but we'll say 15 minutes for now. So that's gonna go off. Now we wait. All right, so now we're gonna get the broccoli sorted. So really couldn't be simpler. I'm just gonna boil it. So broccoli is going in. I probably don't really need to give you a tutorial on this part. But who knows? There might be someone out there that would eat the broccoli raw.
Me.
So literally, we're just gonna let that cook off for 5-10 minutes. But we are gonna flip the chicken breast over, because as we can see in the light, it's looking pretty good. But I like to give it a little flip. And then it's gonna need a bit longer, so maybe we'll ask that on air fry for another 10 minutes. And we're also gonna give the chips a bit of a mix up. So these are looking pretty good, but they won't, I know they won't be cooked all the way through yet. Just from experience. So what we're gonna do is just mix them up a little bit and put them back in. And if you have it, this is where we go max crisp mode. I'm gonna go 5 minutes. All right, so we are ready to roll. What we are gonna do is now, if this wants to come out, we just gotta place this shit on the plate. So chicken is there. And then we have our potatoes. Sometimes they're a bit sticky. If anyone says, oh, if you don't use tin foil, it won't be sticky. I know, but then I don't have to clean the air fryer. And that's more important to me. And then lastly, broccoli goes on. Some space. Actually, not quite lastly, we're gonna do one other little thing. You can use fancy salt like me if you want, or you can just use peasant salt. Let's get it covered nicely. So tell me that doesn't look tasty and filling. That is gonna keep you on track. That's gonna keep you lean or help you get lean. And it's just gonna fill you up over the course of the day or the evening. Now I'm gonna put the macros on the screen, but I already know this is gonna be very low calorie for the amount of food it is and the amount of protein that's on this plate. Let's go into meal number 2. All right, so in this recipe, we're gonna be doing a stuffed chicken breast. We're gonna stuff it with some Boursin, Philadelphia Intense, whatever you can find in the supermarket, and a little bit of chorizo in there as well. So what we want to do is very firstly, we want to weigh our chicken breast, because we're a fitness channel. We got to weigh these things. 250, that's a pretty fat breast. So 250. Now this is the bit that I'm not always very good at, okay? We've got to try and slice it open and create a little pocket without cutting all the way through it. But you want to make sure there's enough space in there that you can fit a good amount of stuff. Oh, I think that's potentially the best one I've ever done. So that is ready. Now, wash the chicken juice off. Now what we're gonna do is take some of the Philadelphia Intense or Boursin, or literally just whatever is equivalent for you. Again, we're gonna weigh this. So weighing scales hack, put it on, press 0, and then whatever we take out, we know that's gonna be accounted for. We might go maybe 20 grams in total or something like that. We'll see how we go. And then literally, we're just going to try and cover the inside of the chicken breast with the cream cheese. Now, someone's going to comment on the fact that I'm double dipping, but fuck you, man. Insult the audience, nice. All right, so I would say that's probably about, because we've got some residue on the spoon, so that's probably about 20 grams of Philadelphia that we've used there, which is perfect. Boy, just get rid of that spoon. And then lastly, we're gonna add some chorizo in there. Now, depending on, again, I know people are like, oh, that's more than 3 ingredients. Ugh. You could just do the same chicken breast we did in the last recipe, right? You're allowed to do that. But this just makes it a little bit more interesting. Depending on how many calories you have to play with, how much fats you have, you might want to give the chorizo a miss, but if you can add it in, I would highly recommend. I like to just kind of fold it in half and literally just stuff maybe 4 of these little slices in there. 3 and 4. Bosh. And there you go. That is your second chicken breast. All we need to do now is we're going to bang that in the air fryer, probably for a total of about 20 odd minutes, but again, depends on the size of the chicken breast you've got, and then it's going to be good to go. So with this recipe, with the potato, we are going to do mashed potatoes. Now, you got 2 options here. You could either peel these, chop them up into bits, boil them, and then mash them, or you could just buy pre-mashed potatoes, which is what we're going to do. All right, so now we take our lovely stuffed chicken breast into the air fryer tray, and this one we'll probably do for 20 minutes as well. Air fry, 20 minutes. Let's let that go. All right, the Cheats mashed potatoes. How long are we talking? 3 minutes. No, wait, longer. We'll go 3.5. Anyway, mashed potatoes are going. The chicken is done, so let's get this on the plate. Now this looks fucking class. Look at that. Oh. Oh baby. And here's our broccoli that we finished cooking earlier. So you actually might not need this entire thing of mashed potato, but even if you do have the entire thing, it's really not that many extra calories. So if you can, then you should, because it's going to fill you up. Doesn't look so appetizing, but we'll put some fancy salt on there again.
The quick fix.
Just done. Another one, super tasty, very high protein, and very, very filling. This one will be a little bit higher in the calories. I'll put them on the screen again, but still be packing the protein, very tasty, and it'll fill you up. That's fucking good. Mmm.
Damn.
All right, guys. So meal number 3 coming up. I'm just gonna trim some of this. Nobody wants to eat that bit. Come on. All right, that'll do. Lovely. So again, we're gonna weigh this bad boy, just so we know how much we're having. 143. This is a little baby one. That's fine. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to chop this one up a little bit now, but only because it will cook a little bit faster in the air fryer, because this one we're going to put some seasoning on it, but we're not going to worry too much about much else, because this one's more of a kind of like a lunch you would take into work. I would say so far they've probably been more like dinner vibes, weeknight dinner vibes. This one is more of a lunch, a good one to take into work. So we'll just chop that up there. Blast it in the air fryer. Again, you could put whatever seasoning you want. I'm gonna rinse the Nando's one again. Not too much. Just mix that around a little bit. That really won't take long. Just do 13 minutes. As you can see, we have been eating the other meals as we've been going. So, again, for this last one, obviously, for our potatoes, what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do a baked potato. Now, again, if you wanted to, you could just buy, there's a better example. You could just take one of the big potatoes in your packet and bake it. But to save us some time today, what I've done, is done another cheat code, is I will probably just use one of these. jacket potatoes that literally you just bang in the microwave. On it goes.
That sounds yummy.
All right, so that potato's in there. We've got our chicken going in there. And I'll cut back to you when we're on the next step. All right, so we have washed our chopping board and our knife because it did have raw chicken on it. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna take some broccoli that we've already boiled, and actually, I am just going to chop this up into small little pieces, which, yeah, it seems weird, but it's all gonna come together. So broccoli is there now, ready to go, and all we're gonna do is bang it in this dish. All right, so potato is done. I'll just let that cool for a minute. Chicken is done. Now, the fun part. So, all we're gonna do is, I want to now actually chop this chicken up even finer into basically as small as we can get it to go. All right, that'll do. So now chicken is as shredded as we're gonna get it. It's gonna go in the dish too. This one I'm actually fully winging. There is no plan. I'm gonna put a little bit of this all-purpose seasoning in there this time, just to give it a bit more flavor. Not too much. I'm guilty for normally overpowering the seasoning. Obviously, the legit salt. I'll go in, and then I'm gonna weigh this one. We're gonna put in some light mayonnaise. Now, you can actually buy lighter than light mayonnaise, and it's basically 0 calorie. I just couldn't find it in the shop today, so we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go, we'll start off with 25, 26, see how we look. I'm just gonna give it a mix. The broccoli probably isn't a normal addition in here. If you were making this for, you know, as an actual meal that you wanted to present well, but we're not doing it for presentation. We're doing it because we need the health of the broccoli in there. I'm actually gonna add in another 5 grams of this. So it'll be 30 total. All right, there we go. So we now have our baked potato topping. So all we're gonna do, open this up a little bit more. And then put this on top. On top / on the side. Definitely the least aesthetic one of the day. But hey, it does the job. And there you have it, recipe number 3. We have got the shredded chicken and broccoli with baked potato. So a perfect one for you to bring into work for lunch, because you could even, if you did the microwave baked potato like I did, you could just microwave that at work, presuming you have a microwave, and then bring your topping in a little Tupperware. You could even just make enough topping for the whole week, and then that's your lunch assorted for the whole week, because you get 4 baked potatoes in a box. That's you sorted, mate. So that could be lunches for the week, and the other ones could be dinners for the week, and all you're basically eating is broccoli, potatoes, and chicken. So you're gonna get shredded, you're gonna get huge, and honestly, it just makes your life a hell of a lot easier. So guys, that is it. We have done chicken, potatoes, and broccoli in 3 different ways. Ultimately, we've used the same ingredients to make 3 basically completely different meals. And the reason why I think this is important, right, is our bodies get good at digesting similar sorts of food. Now, obviously, if you were, I don't know, chicken didn't agree with you for some reason, or broccoli didn't, or potatoes didn't, then you shouldn't follow these recipes. But if you find foods that you know work well for you, they kind of bring you energy, you know, they digest well, you don't feel kind of slow, lethargic, gassy, you don't feel like you get indigestion from them, then why not eat more of those foods? And I think where a lot of people go wrong is that they think, oh, I just have to eat the same meal again and again and again. Now, I will hold my hand up and say, I don't mind doing that. Like, I'll quite happily do that, especially if it's a meal that I've made that I really like. Like, to be honest, that first one I made with the wedges and the chicken breast, that's probably been my dinner for pretty much the past 3 weeks straight, apart from, you know, maybe eating out on the weekends a few times. So I'm a big fan of actually just eating the same things, but I understand that not everybody is like that. But my point is, you can still eat the same foods, you can just make them in different ways. So that was what I wanted this video to be, just to give an example of how you can use the same ingredients to make 3 very different meals. Hopefully it's helped. If it has, please do me a massive favor, share this somewhere, share it with someone else. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.